Hi guys, today we are learning how to round. Okay, we're going to be rounding to the nearest hundreds, the nearest tens, and the nearest thousands. So get ready, we could do this. Now, rounding is when we use, if we want to add numbers easier, because rounding the numbers end in 0. Okay, for example, if we had the number 13 and we had the number 17. Now, these numbers might be kind of hard to add in your head for some of us, and the numbers get bigger. So what we could do is look at this 13 and say to yourself, let's round this to the nearest 10. We're going to first think about the tens that are closest to this. So the 10 that goes before 13 would be 10. The closest 10 after 13 would be 20. Is 13 closer to 10 or is it closer to 20? It's closer to 10. So we would round 13 to 10. Let's look at 17. The 10 that comes before 17 is 10. The number that comes after 17 is 20. Is 17 closer to 10 or 20? It's closer to 20. Okay? 10 plus 20 is a lot easier to add. So that's what we're doing. Okay? But sometimes we can use a strategy to help us. Do you remember what we said before? Okay? If the number, the boss, we're going to talk more about that in a second. If the boss is 4 or less, we let it rest. 5 or more, we raise the score. I'm going to write that down. So we have A here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to let it rest. B, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we raise the score. This is what I mean. Say, for example, we have the number 33, and we want to round this to the nearest tens. Okay, I'm going to say we're rounding to the nearest tens. First thing you do when you're rounding to the nearest tens, underline the number you're rounding to. I'm underlining the tens place because I'm rounding to the tens place. Second thing you do, circle the number behind it, okay? The number behind the tens place is going to be your boss, okay? The 3 is going to boss this 3 around. If this 3, now we look to this. If this 3 is in a 4 or less, we let this 3 rest. If this 3 is 5 or more, this 3 is going to go up to a 1. This 3 is never going to go down. Never going to go down. It's either going to stay a 3 or go up to a 4. But it depends, not on this number, depends on this number. Okay? So, we have 33. This is the boss. If the 3 is 4 or less, so this number is telling this number to stay the same. So we have a 3. Now we circle this because this is going to become a 0, and everything after it would be a 0. Okay, so we round to 30. Let's try that again. We're going to keep our little score here. Okay, let's have 46. Rounding to the nearest tens. Okay, rounding to the nearest tens. First thing you do, underline where you're rounding it to. Tens, circle the number behind it. Okay, because that circled number says that's going to be a 0 no matter what, and everything behind it is going to be zeros no matter what. 6 is the boss. Circled number is the boss. The boss is going to tell the 4 what to do. The boss has to look at this. If it's 4 or less, the 4 rests. If it's 5 or more, the 4 is going to go up to a 5, never down. Okay, so the 6 is over here. 6 is right here, so the 4 is going to go up to a 5, and this is going to be turning into a 0. Okay, let's do another one. To the nearest tens. Okay, this time we're going to do 162. Okay, now we have 3-digit numbers. Still rounding to the nearest tens. Underline where you're rounding to, circle the number behind it. Everything in front of the underline is going to stay the same. So I can already put that 1 down. And I know this is going to be a 0 and everything after it. Okay, all it is this number. And this is our boss. If the 2 is a 4 or less, the 6 is going to rest. If the 2 is 5 or more, we're going to raise the score. The 2 is over here, so it's going to rest. so it stays the same. So it's 160. Okay? Okay. Now let's try hundreds. We're going to round to the nearest hundreds. Okay? So let's have 373. Underline where you're rounding to. So we're rounding to the hundreds, underline the hundreds, circle the next number. Okay? Circled number is still our boss, and everything after it becomes zeros. So these are going to be zeros. Now this is the boss. It's going to tell the 3 what to do. Still going to look up here. Okay? So if the 7 is 4 or less, we let it rest. We let the 3 rest, not the 7. The 7's a 0. 7, if it's not 5 or more, we raise the score. We raise the score of the 3 to a 4. The 7 doesn't become an 8. That's a 0. So the 7 is on this one, so that means the 3 is going to go to a 4. Okay, let's do another one of those. So say we have 500 and, not 3, let's do another one. 517. Okay, underline where we're rounding to hundreds, underline hundreds, circle the number after it. These are both going to become zeros. Okay, this is circled it because it's going to become a 0. Everything after it's going to become a 0. Everything in front of the underline stays the same. We'll get to that in a second. So this is the boss. The 1 is going to decide what the 5 is going to do. Okay, if the 1 is 4 or less, the 5 is going to rest, stay the same. Not going to go down, stays the same. If the 1 is 5 or more, it's going to raise it. The 5 is going to raise to a 6. The 1 is over here. It stays the same, so we keep the 5. Let's do one more to the nearest hundreds. Okay, so say we're going to have a 4-digit number. We're going to have 3,781. Underline to the hundreds. We are rounding to the nearest hundreds. Underline the hundreds place. Circle the next number. Everything here, that turns into a 0. Everything after it becomes a 0. Everything in front stays the same. Okay, this stays the same. Just looking at the underlined number. Okay, looking at this, the 7. Okay, so here we have 8 is the boss. We don't know what to do with the 7. If the 8 is 4 or less, the 7's going to rest. If the 8 is 5 or more, the 7's going to go up 1 and raise the score. The 8 is over here. It's going to go up 1 to an 8. So it's 3,800. Okay? And the same goes with the thousands place. So say we're rounding to the nearest thousands. I'm going to have 6,392. Underline where you're rounding to. Circle the next number. Everything after the circle is going to be, everything that's circled and more is going to be 0. 3 is the boss. The 3 is going to tell the 6 to rest. So we have 6,000. Okay. Let's do one more. Let's do 8,936. Underline where you're rounding to. Circle the next number. These are all going to become zeros because we circled it. The 9's the boss. The 9 is 5 or more. Raise the score. So the 9 is going to tell the 8 to go up 1. All right. Good luck, guys.